Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're talking about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. A few weeks ago, the Indiana Fever, they were eliminated from the WNBA playoffs by the Connecticut Sun. It was a best of 3 series. They lost the first one very badly. The second one they lost as well, but it was a closer game. They actually showed some fight in that game. There was a lot of people coming into the season saying, Caitlin Clark, she's going to be ruined with this team. She was the big star coming into WNBA. She was the #1 overall pick. People thought the Indiana Fever were going to ruin her. They actually got the team to 500. They made the playoffs. They had a good run. Everybody right now, some people are saying, like the Caitlin Clark fans and even the Caitlin Clark haters are saying, some are saying she did horrible, this is a bad year. Some are saying this was a great year. I'm on the side that says it was a great year, but it's not what they probably expected. In the people with my eyes, like myself, the realistic people, we were saying, can you at least make it like to an 8 seed? Can you be realistic? Try, maybe make the playoff. But if you don't get there, it's okay. You were not predicted to go there anyways. But as we can see, they made it all the way to, I believe, a 6 seed. You had a very good season. Now, the big question coming out of this is, how do they go forward? How do they, I wouldn't say rebuild, but how do they kind of get better? Because when you look at the roster, you have Kelsey Mitchell, you have Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and a bag of chips. But I do kind of want to go through and give my opinion on the Indiana Fever and how they can get better. I do have a couple of things I want to go over, give some reasonings from my opinion, how I think they could get better. Because like I said, you have a core 3. That's the biggest challenge in NBA. Can you get a core 3 players of like stars, not even stars, just very good players, and build around it? Now I'm going to go through and talk about this. Before I go any further, I'm going to have a whole bunch of stuff, like I said, on screen. I'll have links to everything that you see on screen down in the description below, so if you want to go check it out for yourself, feel free. But I'm going to go and get straight into this. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated. So, but without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, I want to take a minute and talk about that second game. Like I said, the Fever, they played this game close. As you can see, it was very up and down. It was one of those games where it's like they got off start to a hot start. Then they kind of fell apart. Then they got the game close there in the third quarter. Then they kind of got more towards like the Sun. And I had a feeling the Sun were going to sweep the Fever whenever this game was actually happening. And as the series kind of began, when we started to see, okay, who's playing who in the first round, we knew that the Sun was a very good team. I'm not going to act like I don't know that. I know the Sun are a very good team. But I'm going to be straight up with you. In this moment, when I saw the Fever go up by 1 with 4 minutes to go, I was like, hold on a second. And it like they start going back and forth, the 2 minutes to go, 77-75. I was like, do the Fever have a chance to do this? I'm not going to talk too much about this game because, like I said, it ended up coming down to the last second. Kelsey Mitchell started getting the ball a lot. They ended up starting to have to hoist some shots. They were not sinking. Ultimately, the Sun ended up getting the victory, and they moved on to the second round. I think at this time, they're currently 1-1, 1-1, I think, with Minnesota. So they're doing pretty good for themselves. So it's not like Fever lost to a bad team that, oh, the Sun beat you guys, but now the Sun are getting swept. No, like the Sun they're playing some good basketball. The Sun have a real chance to possibly win the whole thing this year. So yeah, I went ahead and pulled it up right here. As you can see right there, Connecticut Sun, they're playing the Minnesota Lynx, I think, and it's 1-1. So at the time of recording this, you can pretty much say, oh man, we lost to the Sun. Oh, how could we? No, you lost to a very good team. It's not like you lost to nobody. Now, in this article, they kind of go through, talk about the Fever, talk about kind of the ups, the downs of what they kind of had this season. And I will say, like I said, they had a very good year. Everybody that's out there probably saying this is a horrible year. There's some Caitlin Clark fans. I've seen it. Don't say this isn't true. I've seen it on Instagram. I've seen it on Twitter, X, all over the place. I wish I would have saved the tweets and saved the post. But there are people out there literally saying this was a bad year. They should have went further. The coach, there's people that said the coach needs to be fired. And I've seen that even before the season starts. People saying this coach doesn't need to belong to have the job. I think the coach, if she got fired right now, I wouldn't say it was a bad move, but I would say you probably want to give him another year because this coach kind of built up some trust with the players. And I feel like when you have a coach that builds trust and builds a connection with the players, you don't want to just rip that right out of there. Now, I don't know what's going on internally with the team. Like I said, from what I can see out there, it just feels like Caitlin Clark, like I said, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and some of the girls on the team, they like this coach. It seems like from what I see them on the court, they're rallying behind this coach, and they enjoy her being their coach. Now, how can the Fever get better from this point on? Like I said, it's good that they got some experience now. They were a bad team. They were no good. Finally, they were able to go get some experience. Caitlin Clark has experience. She now knows what it takes to try and win in the playoffs. This ain't like college where you can go out there and do it yourself, score 30-something points. These ain't college girls anymore. These are women. These are girls or women that are going to take it with you defensively. You saw what happened there like 4 minutes ago when the game was tied. You could not get the ball. Kelsey Mitchell had to step up. She made a couple of shots. I won't lie. She made a couple of shots. Leah Boston got involved. Some other girls on the team got involved. If you can get everybody else involved, as long as they're going to double team you, Caitlin Clark, if everybody else can get involved and get the open shots and make those shots, you're going to win games. The problem starts whenever Caitlin Clark is getting double team. Kelsey Mitchell starts getting double team. And then it gets to that problem where oh shit, they're doubling everybody else, and then one person on Leah Boston, and they're leaving the other two players, whoever they may be on the court. You both are wide open. If you can't hit your shots, you're never going to win games. Like when we go through and look at the Indiana Fever's roster, as you can see, the top 3 players on minute, Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark, and Aaliyah Boston. Then you have Lexi Holt. I'm going to say this now. I don't know much about Lexi Holt. From what I can see, she's a really good defender. She's got some steals. She's got block. She is good on the defensive end, it seems like. She's getting about 6 points a game. She's got some rebounds, has the assists. But I would say this. If she's going to be your 4th best player, that ain't going to cut it. I mean, going down this roster, if this was an NBA team, and these were the averages of some players on the NBA teams, this, like, you would literally be starting only with the core 3. Everybody else looks like bench players if you were talking NBA terms. Now, like I said a minute ago about building for the future, how exactly do they do that? If you take a second and look here, we have the Indiana Fever salary cap for the next couple years, kind of going through their money, seeing where their money's being spent. One very interesting thing we need to take a look at. Kelsey Mitchell is a free agent, unrestricted free agent for the 2025 season. Meaning one of your core 3 is going to be gone. She's going to walk. She's going to go probably somewhere where she's going to make a lot of money. In the WNBA terms, probably not that much. But in the terms of her just getting more money, she's going to get signed by probably a good team, somebody that needs that talent to help them get over the hump, maybe go win another championship. If the Fever can pull some money together, if they can sign Mitchell back, then after that comes the hard part. Let's look at the free agents, WNBA free agents. You kind of go through this list, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know much of these girls. I don't know who they are. The only names on here I recognize, Diana Taurasi, but I know she's probably going to be retired. And there was Alyssa Thomas, I recognize her. Brianna Stewart, I recognize. Kelsey Plum. But when I say recognize, I mean girls on here that I know they're not going to sign back to the team they're already with, or girls that I think could actually come to the Fever. Because you and I both know Kelsey Plum, Alyssa Thomas, Brianna Stewart, like I said, some of these girls, Cheyenne Parker, they are not coming to the Fever. That is not fucking happening. But as we kind of go down through the list and you kind of get down here to the cheaper options, are there players on here, like I said, that could possibly walk their way over to the Indiana? If there is, like I said, I got no fucking clue. I'm just kind of going off of just saying, if they can go and get some options, get some girls out of the free agency, and they can get some talent. And I'm not saying they need superstar talent. I'm not saying they're a superstar away. They have the team right now that they can get to the playoffs. They can easily get back to the playoffs. They need another person out there. They need some people that when, like I said, when Caitlin Clark, if they can sign Kelsey Mitchell back, when those two are getting double teamed, whichever one being double teamed, sometimes both being double teamed, there's going to be somebody open in a corner. It's up to them then to get the assist, feed it to that corner, and if that person can make the shot, 9 times out of I would say 30, so be at least a 30% 3-point percentage, you're going to win games. But if there's somebody that's going to miss this ball 9 times out of 10, you're not going anywhere. Now, this might be a very bad analogy of ways I can try to put this. Think of Caitlin Clark and think of Kelsey Mitchell in a way, I know this might be a bad analogy. Look at Steph Curry. Look at Klay Thompson. 2 dynamic playmakers. They could shoot. They could do everything. They could do a lot of stuff. But there was times with the Golden State Warriors where when Klay Thompson was still there, where they would get double teamed. They'd both get just pesterized. They did not. Defenders said, you two are not shooting it. We're going to make somebody else do it. We don't care who it is. If that person makes the shot and wins the game, so be it. But we're not letting you two beat us. And what did the Warriors do over the time? With those two, they constantly got new talent. They constantly got players that could make shots out of the corner, different playmakers. Jordan Poole came in, even though he was kind of a bonehead at times, making the deep 3-pointer in the playoffs. Yeah, we all remember that one. But they rotated in different talents from 2015 all the way to now. Sean Livingston was a great player. You had, like I said, Jordan Poole. You had a lot of great different players. Dante DiVincenzo, before he left the Warriors to go to the Knicks, he was a great player for the Warriors. I just feel like if the Indiana Fever want to compete and go after a title and try and actually, like I said, compete for a WNBA championship, they're gonna need to get some better talent in there. If they can get some better talent in there, keep building around Kayla. Maybe they get some better defenders in there because their defense was a little bit iffy last year. And they need to figure out if they're going to keep this coach. If this coach is who they're going to run with, they figure out the stars, figure out who their stars are, get some role players in there. This Fever team can go a long way. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap up there. Hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you agree, disagree with anything I said? Do you think the Fever, the ways that I said could help the Fever get better? Do you think they will get better? Do you think they could possibly sign a star, sign some role players? Whatever your opinion may be, if you're better knowledge, or if you have more knowledge of WNBA than I do, and you want to go ahead and leave your clear opinion on how the Fever can get better down in the comment section down below, go ahead. I'll be more than welcome to kind of talk about with you guys if you have any input. If you're a fan of the content that I do poster and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.